Okay, what do we have here today? This is the 1/16 scale Big Bad van from Revell from way back in 1977. I just got this from trade with Darcy. We traded some kits and everything like that, but he had this wreck that he had showed on camera, and I definitely wanted it because from what I could see, as much as it's missing a lot of parts, it actually had a lot of parts still there. For example, that other door is in there. This is a kind of a unique... Oh, well, how about that? I just broke that door off. But the other door is definitely in there. And this side door is an interesting thing because it is a clamshell door that opens this way. And it is missing the other door. The other part of the door that would be on the top that opens that way, so the whole thing opens like a clam, which would be certainly neat. But you know, it has its seats, and we're good there. And you know, your rear axle, fan shroud, side panel with the little TV in there, and this is up at the roof there, or up on the, goes up on the side inside there, where you would be like on the bed watching TV. And some more parts. I have a total of 1 tire, but that's not really a concern because generally you can get tires off of anything. Now, I mean, even like a toy. So I would be replacing all 4 tires rather than trying to find 3 more originals from the kit. But that's a reel-to-reel tape deck. I brought a pointer here. See these things here? I originally thought these were some kind of a lighted control, but what those are wine bottles. They're supposed to be wine bottles. It's something just very 70s about that, and that would be a sink, a cabinet, and drink holders there in the dashboard. Just realizing now it's missing the steering wheel. And underneath, you know, like I said, we got the axle there, missing a drive shaft. The exhaust is missing, but you can make that out of anything. And on the engine, you got the headers are on there, which is important. But just realize the valve covers are not, but no big deal. Fan is gone, and the grill is gone, and the front air dam. And you would be thinking, well, this is hopeless. You know, where are you going to get those parts? But the reason why I told Darcy this, the reason why I'm gung-ho to take that on is because I happen to have a full one. And full unbuilt one. And the reason why I really should have opened this before I started filming. Yeah, so the reason I wanted to do this is because I have a complete set of parts where I can make resin parts from the perfect parts and put them onto the wreck. In that way, since these things, they don't make these anymore, ultimately, when everything's all said and done, I can have 2 vans. And so, yeah, we're talking, this is 1977 by Revell. And in the instructions, I wanted to show you something pretty interesting right off the bat. Look at this step here. This is a steering box that's actually going to work from the steering column to the pitman arm and actually work correctly. And this is on the wreck, but right there, but somebody just glued the whole thing together so it doesn't work. Yeah, this is, you know, a little bit of a glue bomb. I think it can be cleaned up. There's enough here to work with, so I didn't want to let that one go to the garbage. Other than that, in the instructions, just to save time, I'll probably skip that for now. Now here, yeah, these are always fun. Join the Revell Modelers Club from 1977. You know what? I should send that in. Put your name in there. Send in $2. 1977. What do you think? Should I send that in and see what happens? Nothing would happen, right? Don't know. Here's a decal sheet. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I definitely like the 70s and 80s. I like the colors and the graphics that they used. I like the color trails that they used here. But what are we doing here? Silver clouds. I guess that's London. I guess that's Big Ben and some other Big Bens without clock faces. And they actually separated decals enough so that they can fit on the doors. See the separations there? So they went to a good, but I sure wouldn't use those decals. They're just not right. And here's all the parts. See, there's the missing, let me get my pointer. There would be the missing top clamshell door that I would be missing. I don't think I'm missing any of the regular doors. But let me pull that off of there. Here, interior parts. I think I have all of these. No, I don't. I don't have this separator here. This is like a wall separator that goes in between the bed and the kitchen area. So that would be a very large part that I have to resin cast, or would probably just make something different there. And here's great interior parts. Look at the way, this is the way they used to do them back in the 70s. Everything's all padded and upholstered. And I've been in a lot of these real vans and they were great. There's another TV for the back there, and then there's bed. But none of these I need. There's another reel-to-reel tape deck. Reel-to-reel tape deck is kind of like the full-size version of a cassette tape. And the cassette tape is what they used to put music on. Another dashboard, and here's clear parts. Now on this one, I saw this really neat thing here. Look right here. I hope it's gonna have trouble getting in on that. Let me put this up against something so that I can. There you go. This little disc goes into that little oval on the separation right there. It's just something, kind of like what they would do back in the 70s, all this real nifty stuff. And then there's the wine bottles right there, just enough to stick out. And nice brand new windshield. And clear parts you can make out of, I don't think you can make out of resin, but you can make them out of I forget what the stuff is called, but you can definitely make a mold and then pour in the stuff that dries clear like that, and so you can actually make copies of clear parts as well. And by the time I post this video, I'll remember what it is I'm talking about, and hopefully I'll put it down in the description. There's the new rear windows. These are the ones that go back here. And there's a nice brand new body, completely untouched, and it wouldn't be awesome to have these two giants, two different colors, built two different ways, sitting right next to each other in a display case. That'd be just awesome. And here the bag of, I've got the fresh tires for this kit. And here you got the plug wires and the brake lines and so on. And in there, you see that fabric? That is seat belts. See it there? And there's little seat belt clasps I saw on the instruction, but I haven't found them on the sheets yet. And here's all the chrome piece. Now there would be the grill that I need. Where did it go? Back there. And quite get it to move. There. Certainly a custom grill, and I like it, but you know, I would have to definitely make a resin copy of that entire grill. And you can definitely make resin cast of chrome parts without damaging the chrome. I've seen it done. There's the fan I need. Make a copy of that. Look at this nice long whip antenna, CB antenna. And there's going to be the valve covers I need. And you know, I've got wheels. I got another set of wheels and drums that could be put on another set of tires or something. It's really not going to be hard to find that. Brush guard. There was a neat bar rear bumper on here somewhere that's on the box that I don't see. And then look at the size of this. This is one part sheet here. That's the size of the whole box. And this is all the chassis pieces that you would need. The drive shaft I would need is in there. I might have to get a spring off of this. There's your tie rods and center link for the steering that go onto that amazing little steering box, which will go onto the steering column, and it will steer from the steering wheel. And don't know what else. Oh yeah, that big main, the lower control arm unit, I'm going to have to cast that entire piece. If I don't find another complete wreck that I can just take the parts off of. But, yeah, I guess that's going to do it for this. You know, I just wanted to share this. When this is all done, it comes a pretty nifty looking thing there. If you can see that side door opening like a clam. And the front looks really tough the way that is. Look at what the interior is supposed to look like. And yeah, good side view there of the clamshell door. Yeah, you know, just as is, it's going to build into a amazing model. But when you have an extra one, the sky's the limit. Whatever you want to do to it, you can put a different motor into it. You can make it 4-wheel drive, or lower it, make it a dragster. Anything you want it to do. This is something that I noticed that vans are pretty popular lately with all you guys, and I had a van to share, so I shared it. Y'all have a good one.